Saliach Moshe. Naam Telimiyot. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to talk. On the other hand, not to talk. Chas v'shalom v'chacham shenus. My Zaydi Zechrein Levracha was nifter. Someone asked his brother, Briskerov, who Moshe was. Briskerov gave a very brief hesped to my Zaydi. It's given a goin, it's given a tzaddik. Moshe Twersky can say the same thing. It's given a goin, it's given a tzaddik. He's a Kaddish b'misoso, he's a Kaddish b'chayov. The Marshal says, someone who's killed because he's a Jew is automatically killed al Kiddush Hashem. A Kaddish b'misoso, a Kaddish b'chayov. My uncle Zechrein Levracha, when he was Moshe Shivcho Shel Timidov, used to say, I taught many people. In my lifetime, I had 4 Talmidim. And he came to his grandson, Moshe. He saw, but he wasn't only Talmud. He was me. The entire Messiah, Reb Chaim gave over to my Zaydi Zechrein Levracha. Gave over to my Rebbe Zechrein Levracha. My Rebbe put into Reb Moshe. He was the Hemshech. Direct Hemshech. Not only did he learn but he said his Metzias. Most people have one midah that's mashpia on everything else in their lives. And everything they do in their lives comes out of that midah. Well, it was very difficult for me, almost impossible for me, to collect my thoughts. And I was thinking, what is that midah? That was Moshe Twersky, Hashem Yikim Dombo, Zechat Tzadik v'Kodesh Levrocha. It was a Taharas HaNefesh. He was pure. A total purity. He had one single pure goal in life, to serve the Rebbeinu Shalom. His limanat Torah, Shivisi Hashem L'negdi Samid. The Gemara says, Minayin, Shafilu Echad Yosef. It was a Shivisi Hashem L'negdi Samid. It says Hatzmoda. Speaking to his Rebbitzin. She saw him at 1:30 in the morning. He was still sitting and learning. This morning, he got up to go to mikveh before he davened at his minyan kavua. It was a taras hanefesh. It was a taras hanefesh that determined his limanat Torah. It was a taras hanefesh that determined his avodah. Just yesterday, we were davening mincha together. I myself was thinking that certain people, when they daven, you can see on them, Shivisi Hashem L'negdi Samid. You can see that Taras HaNefesh. Certain people create themselves in the way they think the Rebbeinu Shalom wants them to be. That is how they learn Torah. There is the Midas Tevis, there's the Habotzas Torah. Everything is with a single Taras and Nefesh. What does the Ribono Shel Olam want from me? And how am I to serve him the best way possible? His diktuk b'halacha was one thing. The derech avoda. Meizede zechronu levracha. When he talked about the Rambam and Sefer Mitzvah Sula Ovdo, Rambam says Lo Ovdo is tefillah, but he says it's also something else. Zo mitzvah zu talmud. There's certain people who can daven, but there's an ability to take every mitzvah and use it as a derech avoda. Certain people who learn, but there's an ability to take your entire limud Torah and take it as a derech avoda. Everything for him was a pure derech avoda. What does Ribono Shel Olam want from me? Whether it's limud Torah, whether it's tefillah, whether it's midas tevis, dikbuk mitzvahs, there was no show. The Gemara says, Ezel ben olam habo, shayef ayo, shayef nofik, goris baraisa todir, v'hechdik tuvus l'nafsh. When you come in, you don't go to the front, you stay in the back. And Rahman al-Tzlan, when the Rotzchim Arurim came into the shul, he was standing in the back. Because they're shayef ayo, shayef nofik. He's a boreach from any publicity because there was only one publicity that he cared about. He was lifting Hashem. When Yankov Avinu struggled with the Malach, the Sorrow Shel Esav, he says his name was Yisrael. Ki sariso im Elokim. And Unkelitz there says, Kadmo Elokoch. There are certain people who are interested in many different audiences. Moshe, Hashem Yikum Dome, Seichet Tzavi V'Kov L'Shiracha, had one audience in his life. That's Ribono Shel Olam. Everything he did was for that audience. That's why he was a shayef ayo, shayef nofik, never made a big fuss about himself. Goris baraisa todir, v'posuk pum megirsa. So boking nifle b'chol mektzais haTorah. B'chol mektzais haTorah. Nigle, v'nister. It was Meshamis Rabbeisov b'hachnor gemura. His grandfather, and Talmud of Reb David Soloveitchik, Aruch Yom Tovim. And in Nister came a Talmud Muvik for Weintraub. Chazal tell us that Klal Yisrael, for every new word of Torah, have a thirst, like fish jumping up for fresh water. Moshe had a thirst for Torah that informed his whole life. He had a thirst for Avos Hashem. He had a thirst for Avodas Hashem. There was only one audience. In front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There was no other audience that made a difference. And that's why he could relate to people. People saw in him that taras hanefesh, that purity of soul. People saw in him that there's only one thing that mattered, what their wants. And his hashpah which is an unbelievable hashpach. His Talmidim filled this world, misofa olam ad sofa, thousands of Talmidim. And what did they see in him? Why they called him the Rebbe? He was a mephis of Taras HaNefesh. They saw that purity. They saw that sincerity. They saw the midas teifus. They saw that deep concern for every Talmud. He cared for them. He loved them. I'll tell us, Shinantum levanecha, vanecha elu hatalmidim. There are different types of people. There are types of people who their Talmidim feel their love, but their family doesn't. There are people whose children feel their love, but the Talmidim don't. But it's all one. His sons were his Talmidim were his sons. Chovarni re'echa. He felt a deep bond to every Yerushalayim. Obviously, it's an unbelievable loss for us here in Yeshiva. Unbelievable loss. It's a loss for the Mishpacha. It's a loss of Klal Yisrael. Because Taras HaNefesh is a very commodity. That soul, that sincerity, that he was here, that Messiah he had of Taras HaNefesh was back to Chaim, the Beis HaLevi, Lamala B'Kodesh. It's so rare today. I don't know if people will see it. On a personal level, it's very hard for me to talk. It's very hard. It's a deep kesher that goes back for years and years. It's a deep kesher. I felt for him. I hope he felt for me. It's a deep kesher. When you feel that kesher, having been in someone's bris, having been his bar mitzvah, in his chasna, have been together throughout life. And that entire 59 years, 46 years ago, his bar mitzvah. And looking at him, I don't believe anyone in this room knows what it means to have grown up in the city of Boston in the circumstances we did. Two of us knew. But to see someone growing up like that, with that Taras HaNefesh, that Bakoshes HaKadusha, Bakoshes HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he's a Meifes Ador. To grow up in an unbelievable surrounding, which was totally devoid of anything to do with the Rebbeinu Shalom Torah, and to maintain those Mesiris of Taras HaNefesh. It's an unbelievable Nesoyan. And now, when his Neshama Tahira comes to Shemayim, he'll be met there by all his Avos HaKadoshim, Lamalim B'Kodesh. We'll bring him in front of the Kisei HaKoved and be proud of what their descendant was. He'll be a pride in Shemayim for all the previous days of Geinim Tzadikim that he was an Emes HaHemshechav. Not that he made anything of it. He was a Shayef Ayel, Shayef Nofik. But in Metzias, as his grandfather said, everything that he was Yerush from his father, who's Yerush from Reb Chaim, he put into him. From the time he was a little boy, and all those long walks they went together, and he put all his neshama into him, give him over those Messiahs. And no matter what, the Ikim Messiah of Taras HaNefesh, single-minded service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he had. And as his Neshama Tahira come up to Kisei HaKoved accompanied by all the previous Deiros, they'll be proud to bring him in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu.